Taurus, God is moving you from where you are now. It's not a possibility, it's not a suggestion. It's a divine decree that has already been sealed in the higher planes and is manifesting in your physical reality at this very moment. You are leaving this place. And when I say place, I'm not just talking about a geographical address. I'm talking about a state of being. A situation that has become too small to contain who you are becoming, an environment that has already fulfilled its purpose in your life and is now hindering your next level of growth. You feel it, don't you? That constant restlessness that no longer lets you find peace in what once brought you comfort. That feeling of being trapped in a life that no longer fits you, as if you've grown up and the world around you has become too small. This isn't anxiety. It's not passing dissatisfaction. It's the divine calling echoing within your heart, preparing you for the great departure that is to come. And I didn't come here to ask if you want to go. I came to tell you that you're already going. God doesn't ask permission when He decides it's time to move you. He simply begins to dismantle everything that has kept you stuck where you are. He starts to make uncomfortable what was once comfortable. He starts to place an emotional weight on situations that were once light. He starts to make you see clearly everything you've been ignoring for so long. And if you pay attention, you'll realize that this process has already begun in your life. Things aren't working the way they used to. People don't fulfill you like they used to. The place where you are no longer satisfies you like it used to. Can you feel that you are being prepared for a departure that will change everything? In the next few minutes, I will reveal exactly what is happening in your life right now. I will decode the signs that God has been sending you to prepare you for this inevitable departure. And most importantly, I will show you why you need to stop resisting this divine movement and start cooperating with it. Because the more you fight against what God has decided, the more painful the liberation process becomes. You were born for much more than what you have been experiencing, and God knows this. That is why He is taking you from where you are, not to punish you, but to promote you. Taurus, I know change isn't easy for you. I know you've built your life around stability, security, and predictability. I know you've invested time, energy, and heart in putting down roots where you are now. That's why this message might be hurting you right now. It might be triggering all your fears about losing what you know. But I need you to understand something fundamental. God never takes you from a place without having something infinitely better prepared for you. Never. The problem is that you've clung so tightly to what you know that you can no longer see what awaits you. You're so busy trying to hold on to what's already gone that you can't open your hands to receive what's coming. And God, in His infinite wisdom, knows that the only way to make you open those hands is by making it impossible to keep holding on. That's why He's creating situations in your life that will force you to let go. Not because He's cruel, but because He loves you too much to let you waste your life in a place that no longer serves your divine purpose. You're leaving this place. It could be a physical place, a city, a neighborhood, a house where you've been living. It could be an emotional place, a relationship that has kept you in a mediocre comfort zone. It could be a professional place, a job that pays the bills but kills a piece of your soul every day. It could be a mental place, a way of thinking about yourself that has kept you small and limited. Or it could be all of these places at once, because when God decides to move you, He doesn't do it halfway. He revolutionizes everything at once. For those born in Taurus between April 20th and April 30th, the departure God is preparing is primarily related to your professional or financial situation. You have been in a place that offers security, but not growth. God is about to remove you from this situation and place you in something that will initially seem riskier, but will multiply your abilities and your impact on the world. For those born between May 1st and May 10th, the divine movement is focused on your most intimate relationships. God is freeing you from connections that keep you emotionally stagnant and preparing space for relationships that will expand you. And for those born between May 11th and May 20th, The departure is linked to your identity and self-image. God is destroying the limited version of who you think you are to reveal who He always knew you were. But all of you, regardless of when you were born, are being confronted with the same truth right now. You no longer belong where you are. You have outgrown that place. You have grown beyond it. And now God is opening the exit door, even if you are still afraid to walk through it. The question is not whether you will leave. You will. The question is whether you will leave smoothly, trusting in divine guidance, or whether you will be dragged out, hurt, and resistant. Do you have the courage to trust that God knows exactly where He is leading you, even when you cannot see the final destination? Let me tell you something about how God works. He always prepares you for where He's going to take you before He actually moves you. In recent months, you've had experiences, encounters, insights, and even difficulties that were specifically designed to equip you for the next chapter of your life. That problem that seemed devastating at the time, it was God teaching you resilience that you'll need later on. That loss that broke your heart, it was God making room for something greater to enter. That new skill you developed almost by accident, it was God preparing you for the demands of the new territory you're about to inhabit. And now He is in the final stage of this preparation. He is making your current place so uncomfortable that you will prefer the unknown to remaining where you are. He is placing a holy fire beneath you to make you move. He is closing doors that you insist on trying to keep open. He is removing people you thought were permanent. He is dismantling structures you thought were solid. And all this is not destruction, it is liberation. The signs of your impending departure are everywhere, if you know where to look. Have you been waking up in the middle of the night with an inexplicable anguish in your chest? That's your restless spirit, knowing it's time to leave. Have you found yourself looking at your current life with a strange sense of detachment, as if you're no longer part of it? That's God emotionally disconnecting you from what you're about to leave behind. Have you been having recurring thoughts about places, people, or possibilities that seemed impossible until now? That's heaven giving you glimpses of your next destination. The opportunities God is about to open up for you didn't exist where you are now. Literally, they didn't exist. That's why He needs to move you. The people who will catalyze your next level of growth aren't where you are now. The resources you'll need to access aren't available in your current location. The expanded version of you that's waiting to be born no longer fits within the limitations of your present environment. You need to go to the place where all of this is waiting for you, and God is making sure you go. Now I know you're wondering, but where am I going? How will I know when it's time to move? And here's the answer you might not want to hear. You won't know for sure until you're in the middle of the movement. God rarely reveals the complete map before you take the first step. He gives you enough to start walking, but not enough for you to plan the entire route and feel in control. Because if He showed you everything at once, you would find 1,000 reasons not to go. Your Taurus mind would analyze all the risks, weigh all the pros and cons, and probably decide it's safer to stay where you are. But God isn't interested in your false sense of security. He's interested in your real growth. And growth always requires you to leave the known and enter the unknown. It always requires you to let go of what you can see, to reach for what you cannot yet see. It always requires a leap of faith that activates every fear you carry. And that's exactly why He's creating a situation where staying where you are will become more uncomfortable than leaving, where the pain of remaining will overcome the fear of change. You're leaving this place, and when you do, you'll look back and wonder why you waited so long. You'll clearly see how that place was limiting you, diminishing you, preventing you from expanding. You'll understand that every moment of discomfort that God allowed to happen was actually a loving nudge in the right direction. You'll realize that He was protecting you from wasting more time in a situation that had already served its purpose in your life. Can you begin to see that what seems like a loss now is actually a promotion in disguise? One of the most profound things God is teaching you through this process is the difference between security and faith. Security is when you control all the variables and ensure that nothing bad can happen. Faith is when you let go of control, trust in divine guidance, and move forward even without visible guarantees. You have been living in pursuit of security, building walls around yourself, creating safety nets, avoiding any situation that seems risky. And this has kept you alive, but it hasn't kept you vibrant. It has kept you functioning, but it hasn't kept you flourishing. God is breaking down your walls not to leave you vulnerable, but to show you that your true security has never been in the external structures you've built. It has always been in Him. It has always been in your ability to adapt, to grow, to trust that you are being guided by an intelligence that loves you and knows exactly what you need. And once you learn this lesson, once you experience the radical freedom of letting go of control and trusting completely, you will never want to live any other way again. In the coming days and weeks, the signs of your departure will intensify. Conversations will take place that will catalyze inevitable changes. Situations will develop that will make it impossible to continue in the same direction. Opportunities will arise that will require you to choose between the familiar and the extraordinary. And in each of these moments, you will feel God whispering in your ear, "Trust me, I have prepared you for this. You are ready. It's time to go." And when those moments come, I implore you not to fight them. Don't try to bargain with God. Don't try to find ways to stay where you are just a little longer. Because the truth is, every day you stay in a place God is trying to take you is a day stolen from the extraordinary life He has prepared for you. It's a day living below your potential. It's a day postponing the fulfillment of your purpose. And you don't have infinite days to waste. Taurus, you were created to build, to cultivate, to create lasting structures of beauty and value. But you cannot build what God intended you to build while you remain stuck where you are now. The ground is wrong. The resources are wrong. The people around you are wrong, not because they are bad, but because they were not destined to be part of the next chapter of your story. God needs to move you to the right place, where all the elements necessary for your divine success are gathered and waiting for you. And here's something that might surprise you. The place you're leaving may not be a bad place. It might even be a good place. But good is the enemy of great. God isn't just taking you away from what's bad. He's taking you away from what's good enough to lead you to what's extraordinary. He's removing you from what's comfortable to position you in what's transformative. He's freeing you from what's safe to launch you into what's abundant. The departure that God is orchestrating in your life is not just about leaving a physical or situational place. It's about leaving behind a mindset of scarcity and limitation. It's about abandoning the belief that you need to settle for crumbs when God has prepared a banquet. It's about letting go of the identity of someone who merely survives and embracing the identity of someone who was created to thrive and flourish in ways that will impact generations. During this transition process, you may experience moments of intense fear, moments where you'll want to run back to what you know, even if it caused you suffering. That's normal. It's what happens when you're in the middle of the bridge between the old and the new. There's a moment when you're no longer where you were, but you haven't yet arrived where you're going to be. A moment of suspended air where it feels like you have no ground beneath your feet. And it's precisely at this moment that you need to remember, God hasn't let go of you. He's carrying you, and He has never let down anyone who has trusted Him completely. You're going to leave this place, and the people who truly matter will understand. Some may even go with you, but some will stay, and that's okay. Part of divine growth is understanding that not everyone who started with you will finish with you. Not everyone who was in the previous chapter is written into the next chapter. And forcing people to go where they weren't called to go will only create weight and resistance for everyone involved. The reality is that God is healing your tendency toward attachment through this movement. He is teaching you to hold things lightly, to love deeply without clinging tightly, to build without creating prisons, to invest without losing the freedom to leave when heaven says it's time. And this is one of the most valuable lessons a Taurus can learn, that your security was never in the things or people you could hold on to, but always in God, who holds you. In the coming times, observe how God will begin to open doors you never asked him to open, how opportunities will appear in places you weren't even looking, how casual conversations will turn into transformative invitations, how situations that seemed impossible to change will suddenly be completely rearranged. These are tangible signs that your movement has already begun in the spiritual world and is manifesting in the physical world. And when those doors open, don't overanalyze. Don't make lists of pros and cons. Don't seek the approval of everyone around you. Just check with God. Is this it? Is this where you want me to go? And if you feel that peace that transcends understanding, that quiet yes deep in your spirit, then go. Even if your mind screams all the reasons why it's risky, even if your heart is heavy with fear, even if the people around you call you crazy, go. Because God is waiting for you on the other side of your obedience. Taurus, you are being promoted, you are being expanded, you are being repositioned for the next level of your divine calling. And this process begins with you leaving where you are, not later, not when it's convenient, not when you feel completely ready. Now, because God has already decided, the plans have already been drawn up, the new territory is already prepared, the people who will be part of your next chapter are already in place. Everything is ready. All that's left is for you to take the leap of faith and begin walking in the direction He is pointing. And when you take that step, when you finally let go and trust, you will experience such a profound sense of relief that you will wonder why you resisted for so long. You will feel as if a gigantic weight has been lifted from your shoulders. You will breathe deeper than you have in years. You will feel a freedom you didn't even know existed. Because finally, you will be aligned with what God always wanted for you. Are you ready to stop fighting the divine movement and start flowing with it? If this message reached you, it was no coincidence. It was God using this means to confirm what He has already been whispering in your heart. It was heaven saying, yes, it's true. You are leaving. Prepare yourself, trust, obey. Share in the comments if you have felt this divine call to leave, this holy restlessness that no longer lets you rest where you are. Your words will strengthen other Taurus natives who are receiving the same warning. Subscribe to the channel now, because you'll need spiritual guidance to navigate this transition period. You'll need words of reassurance when fear tries to make you turn back. You'll need divine insights on how to recognize the new territory when you arrive there. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any messages that God may use to guide you through this process of departure and arrival. You will leave this place. God has decreed it. Heaven is already in motion. Angels have already been assigned to facilitate your transition. Doors are already being opened. Obstacles are already being removed. Divine favor is already being poured out in your direction. Everything is conspiring to move you. The only question that remains is, will you cooperate with grace and gratitude, or will you resist until you are forced to go? Choose wisely, because in the end, you will go anyway. The only difference is how much unnecessary suffering you will create for yourself through resistance. Trust that God loves you too much to leave you stuck where you have overstepped your purpose. And so, with faith and courage, begin to pack. Your departure is closer than you imagine.